Nothing like jumping back onto the Just Create SMP, and today I want to continue my journey and getting a little bit clowny, even more clowny than normal. I've been working on some more projects. Well, another mini game, if you can technically call it a mini game. It's going to be kind of a mini game, I guess. It's a speedrun challenge. But of course, to match the theme of the massive clown entrance and our circus theme that is going on, I want to get this thing set up, and I want it to be a fun house. Of course, first thing I need to do is drop down to the bottom and figure out where I want to put this thing. Now that I'm down here, I am noticing a few things. I think the base speed of what I was originally connected to has now been boosted to 256 for some reason. I don't know. It has definitely been boosted to 256 because that clown is spinning real fast. Like really fast. Oh my goodness. I kept seeing a lot of you guys saying, oh, the clown is moving too fast, but now it's really too fast. I'll fix that later. But for right now, we ended up getting Starchery. This was our first mini game that has been placed down here. Of course, the entire circus tent is not open. This is taking a long time to kind of get set up, but we have our Starchery course, which allows us to get this set up if you missed last episode. But down the road here is where I want to set up our next mini game. That is going to also, like I said, be a fun house and might be the first position that people either see. They're probably either going to see this one or they're going to see this one over here. So what I wanted was I wanted to take this room and I wanted to make a speedrun course. And so what I did was I popped on over at Twitch and I started getting to work. And the first thing I did was I started to lay out a grid that was about 33 by 33. And then I wanted to make sure that it went up. And so that way it was about 9 blocks tall for each major chamber. And I decided to go, you know what, you can connect all of these. But then I also wanted to raise it up a little bit. So that way it gave me a bit more space to create even more chambers. And the goal here was to create chambers that had different tasks in them as you went through them. After finally getting the hang of things and getting it all kind of fleshed out with all the stone blocks, I decided to decorate it just a little bit. And I started transforming everything by utilizing some crimsite, netherite, and some mangrove planks to give it a fleshy look. And then some of the chambers I wanted to theme around the different body parts of the clown, because yes, this is a fun house where you walk through the internals of the clown. That was sort of the idea. I mean, I even went as far as making a lung system. We also have a stomach, a heart. We even have a brain and an eyeballs, and of course the intestines as you exit through. But with all said and done, this is kind of what it looks like. We have the fun house where it's also flipped upside down. You got to put a diamond in to enter. When you put the diamond in, this door will open. These will close shut to make sure that nobody can get in. And then the timer will start. And by the time you get all the way back around and you step on this pressure plate, this will set your score, set your current time. And I thought this was just a really fun idea. And once we get it into the world, that's when I kind of want to show you guys the full insides and how everything works, because there's a lot of fun secrets to be had inside of this building. But you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer because I've got to get this placed into the world, because this was all done inside of my test world. So now back to reality over here on the Just Create server. And yes, I've got a lot of work to do, and these things do take a tremendous amount of time to just paste into the world. And we do have this set on the fastest speed that we can set it to. I mean, there is no way to, for example, tick accelerate the placement of these blocks. The only thing that could make this faster is by technically clearing out the area here. But with my drill, for example, broken down like it has been for a while now, it makes clearing it out like incredibly difficult because like I can't even use my normal drill. Well, I mean, not well anyways. I mean, I could try to get my hammer in here a little bit and see how that works. But I mean, my hammer has not been working as of recent. For some reason, there has just been a big issue with the way that these things work. Placing that in, of course, it breaks the few blocks that were connected to it. But yes, like I said, it's just, it doesn't even have a storage right now. You know what? I can at least give this a shot. I mean, it is probably going to get really laggy, but let me go ahead and throw this down. We do this, we place this in its contraption form, and then I just need to simply click and let it go. I mean, it is going to clear out at least a lot of the area, but I still think that there's going to be a lot of mining that's going to have to be done. Okay, so you know what? This might save a bit of time because like all of these blocks that my drill just cleared out, which didn't take very long at all, like the actual builder doesn't actually need to clear those out. So it should just be able to skip them and go through this pretty quick. So perfect. Now that I have this, let's talk about schematics and getting this thing in. So this is going to be called Chosen's, I think it's or maybe I did Chosen Funhouse. Okay. We've just got to load this schematic in that I just made. And by the way, I will be sharing this schematic with you over on the Discord, so definitely be sure to check out the schematic channel if you're interested in a really interesting and fun sort of parkour course. There's a lot to this. There's even like a find the button reference, which is another fun like mini game. There's just a lot of references in here. Now with that, we can place this in and hope that I did everything correctly. It looks like I did. Yes. Okay. Everything is in place just as it should. Ah, beautiful. Okay. So this definitely needs to go this way. And by the way, it should connect directly up. It has to go one more out. And then we need to bring this down. It should connect up exactly in place here. Yes, there's going to be a gap. I've got to fill this little gap right here. But that is it connected up perfectly. Oh, this is going to be great when it goes in. All of the individual levels, all of that fun stuff. Yes, it is going to have to clear out the floor levels. But outside of that, this looks like it is in position exactly where it needs to be. And that means it's schematic cannon time. Oh boy, yes. And this is probably a love-hate relationship for some. But for me, this has allowed me to do stuff like this in a reasonable amount of time. However, this still took quite a while to do in creative. I actually spent 2 different streams on it. One stream was about 8 hours. The other one was about 6 hours in the decoration part. So yeah, it is a tremendous amount of work. By the way, look at just all of the random stuff I'm going to need. This needs a lot of different random components in order to build. A lot of that, it looks like we have. So is there anything large? Like pink terracotta, of course, is pretty huge on this list. Sea lanterns, we're going to need some chutes and smart observers. Lots of redstone components, which I got. But it looks like everything else is going to be fine. We even have enough crimsite. Oh, this is going to be perfect. Now, first thing I want to do is try to gather everything I can out of the mall, since that is just a simple right click on our mall to request all of those items. And then we can start to kind of figure everything else out, because there's a few things we are going to have to go farm out in the world. So like mushroom, I made one room that's like the balloon room, so it's going to have mushroom and stuff in it. But also cobwebs. Like I have to farm cobwebs because I really want to use them. Now I can go ahead and take this, and this is going to request out everything that I can possibly request out of this system that we're going to need. And all of this can just simply go in a single shulker box. And there we go. I mean, that is all of the redstone components. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't automatically check it off the list whenever you do pull it out of here. So yeah, we'd have to send it back to kind of refine our list here, but there's still a lot more things I was looking at. A lot of this stuff is going to be pretty straightforward. Like we need to go to our concrete farm, right? And I need to pull out some concrete. We also need to grab some dye from our dye farm for some glass. Probably make some glass real quick. Or I think we have glass constantly in stock here. So if there was glass, it's not going to pull it out, but I'm going to grab some glass because we will need this for certain things. And we can actually add that into here. We're just gonna have to dye it, right? So we're gonna need a bunch of different dyes, or we can actually just use the dye shop. I think the diomat wouldn't be a bad idea either. Oh, another thing I definitely need is going to be mangrove, and I'm almost positive Throwlash added some more stock, and that I do need. I need as much mangrove as possible. We have a lot of mangrove requirements in here. Let's see. We have Crimson Stairs. That's a totally different thing. But yes, we definitely have a bunch of mangrove that I know I just don't have. Yeah. This is probably going to be about a stack. I mean, I think we're going to need like 4 or 5. I'm going to grab 5 stacks for right now. This is for bulk orders. Can I do... Okay, I can request from you. Oh, nice. There we go. And We wait, and our packages are slowly getting here. There we go. So that's going to help satisfy that need. Tell you what, these shops have honestly made a huge difference. Like, being able to just go and buy a few things is so nice. For example, this, like, where did Cal come from? What is Cal selling? Oh, Cal is just a universal storage inventory. Okay. I do need to buy more rockets, so that was another thing. Bulk rockets. Oh, and we're also selling jetpack fuel now. Well, that's nice of them. There we go. Gotta refuel my rocket chest. It's getting pretty low. I'm also going to be in need of bone blocks at this point. You'd think I should just automate the bone blocks, but I only need about 4.5 stacks. So that part is now done as well. Now, taking a look on the checklist, it looks like we need about 2 stacks of black concrete, which I can just grab from here. 2 stacks of black concrete. And then I've got several other concrete, right? That's on the list. Blue concrete. Gotta just go through this whole thing. Just grab the ones I need. I love how for me, it's just like nice shopping. I can just pop in here, grab it. I should also check my stock of concrete and see how that is. After collecting all of the different color concrete, some things I need to buy from shops, potentially slime blocks. Slime blocks is one of the things I think we can buy from eggs. Sea lanterns, I need to buy more of these. And then what else was a major buy that I was going to have to get my hands on? Yes, cherry logs. I need 10.5 stacks. I basically need 11 stacks of stripped cherry logs. I'm hoping that there's a ton of cherry logs I can also buy from Thurlash. Let's fingers crossed. Aha. Perfect. And yes, I am going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, thank goodness. All of those there. Such a cheap price too. And let's see, I can already start to take some of these things and start to get them processed up. Like, I definitely want to get the logs processed up. Let's see, this I do have set up to work with cherry, right? Yes, that is going to work just fine. Exactly what I need. Beautiful. Now, the stack of lanterns should be bought from Docktown down here, assuming we have some in stock. Has Foxy been on? Ooh, by the way, we got a new Keith, it looks like. Okay, let's see. Pop in here. Oh, 128. Oh, that's already more than I need. That's a lot more than I need. This is where I get the items, right? Right here? Oh boy. Hey. Chill. Perfect. And then if I remember correctly, eggs sells, well, slime in here. Not here. Here. I gotta put it into here. What is wrong with me? This should give me a slime block. Oh boy, that's going to be a lot. Okay, one at a time. I've got to do this slowly. But I will be buying all of the slime blocks that I can. I need 30 of them. So, wipe the sweat off my brow after getting a lot of this stuff done. I've got a ton of all of the individual bits and bobs done. We're only missing now cobweb. For some reason, the copycat iron door isn't being recognized by the schematic cannon, but it is in there. And then we have the red mushroom blocks. I got to get a bit more slime, so I think I got to have to do this by hand. I bought as much as Eggs had in his shop, so he is all completely out there. And then glow lichen, which I don't know if I'm going to technically grab. It kind of goes in the first room, but I mean, getting glow lichen, it's not such an easy thing. Like, I should find it in caves, and I might actually find it while I'm exploring over here. Speaking of exploring over here, I think underneath my base, we should easily be able to find cobweb. Remember finding like an abandoned mine shaft that was down here, and I don't think anybody else has probably messed with it. So yeah, I should definitely take advantage of any of the string that might be down here. Yes, perfect. Exactly what I need. Okay. Oh, and look, there is some lichen over here. So yeah, I can grab a little bit. The goal though for me is to collect about 50 of these. So let's hope that I find a spawner. And there we go. So 46. I didn't find a spider, but I ended up collecting more than enough. Let's see. Now that that is out of the way, let's toss that into here with some of the other things that I ended up farming up randomly. And then we do need to head to a dark forest because I do need quite a few of those mushroom blocks. Yeah, according to this, 140. So we need 2 stacks. 2 stacks and 12. And thankfully there's a mushroom forest right over this way. Well, I mean, a dark forest, that is. Hey, look at the train down there. Now let's hope this works. I mean, that's reasonably paced. honestly. And now I have everything except for glow lichen. I am going to need to take a bunch of dough that I ended up grabbing from the chocolate factory. That made that really easy. I was able to just quite literally grab that. And slime, I need about, I mean, as much as I can make. That's, well, that's 10 blocks. No, I need this recipe. I need more than what that just gave me. I need about 3 stacks of slime. So let's do this. There's 64, and we'll request 3 sets, and that should be more than enough. And our slime problem is about to be solved. Okay, there we go. So that is just about everything needed. All of this included, all of the mushroom blocks, the cobwebs. Oh my goodness, we are about ready to get this funhouse up and rolling, and you guys can finally see what's inside the funhouse. And so let's get our final check here just to make sure that everything is in place between all of these. And the only thing we're missing is a little bit of glow lichen, not a huge deal. And then also the copycat doors, not a huge deal. I do actually have them, so I'm wondering if it's actually going to consume the ones we have. But either way, the schematic is just about ready to be placed in. Let's do one more double check just to make sure everything looks as though it should, and the patterns all line up here. Yes, let's move this back and forth one. That should be perfect. That lines up just as I would hope. Oh my goodness. And without further ado, it's about time that we click this button and we get this thing in here. So 3, 2, 1. So it is in. Well, for the most part, we still got to get everything hooked up. Doors and stuff like that, they've got to be replaced. But look at that. The iron door here did get actually placed in, just not fully. So we still have things that need to technically be fixed before we get this up and running. And also me doing this resets. Oh my goodness. Resets this. So we kind of got to play around with some things. We got to turn some things on. One of the things I can turn on right off the bat is my redstone. So to explain this down here, this is up here controlling some lights. This is controlling pistons. So I have pistons, and when this is on, this is going to toggle them in between 2 different states. So we have an on state and off state, and it's going to invert. And this up here requires some redstone. This is a randomizer that I have set up. So the item goes into the chute and gets ran through here, and it will randomly determine which spot it goes in because of the setting that is on here, which is underneath the randomized mode. So once we get some power on here, this is going to be able to be kicked on. This is going to power up all of our lights that I have going through the whole thing. Like I said, there is just a lot going on, but you can already hear the pistons. They should be working now. Yes, redstone is working, just as you had hoped. However, I do hear zombies in here trying to break doors down, and that's unfortunate. Now, let's see. I do need to get this powered up, and so the best way to do that is to pop down here. Let's see. We can grab some chains, and we just need to get this moved underneath this whole system. And I even placed in some signs to help me understand what needs to go where. So I have a sign, and thankfully it looks like the sign data gets carried on in the schematic, which is good. So yes, both of them need to be spinning in this direction, including this side, which powers this whole setup, and then this one gets powered as well. So let's see. Let's get ourselves a chain drive, and I notice I only have 5 chains. I don't think that's going to be enough. So beautiful. After grabbing some more chains, let's get a conveyor. And we need to hook this up here, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of space because I don't know if I'm going to have to change the rotation or anything like that. But as of right now, let's grab this. We'll throw in a gearbox. We need that spinning the opposite direction. Shaft. And I believe this whole side is working correctly. And that should also power our randomizer up top. So let's go up top here, and I believe we can use any item. We don't have to use anything in particular. We can throw a diamond in here, for example. If I put a diamond on here, avoiding the creeper, oh my goodness, that should work. I think, okay, I do have to reset the mechanical arm. This was something I was wondering if this was actually going to be the case. And some of these areas too, by the way, I noticed the creepers are here, but some of these areas, they require it to be dark. We'll have to figure that out too. All right, yeah, let me reset this. So I'll just pop this guy off. And the way this gets set up, by the way, is we need these to be pulled. So this is going to be set to extract from, and then this is going to be deposit to. And that's basically it, right? Did I already send the item in? I think I did, but I think I picked it back up. Okay, now it's still not working. What? Oh, that's right. Oh, the belts. All of my belts got janked up for some reason. Oh boy, you gotta love it. All right, come on. I gotta get up here. There's a creeper just wanting to blow this up. And that links into here. Perfect. And then that gets flung over here because this is spinning the wrong way. Okay, so with this spinning the wrong way, I just have to change this, and now that should be going in the right direction. I thought it was going in the right direction before, but I mean, this would definitely determine whether or not it's going in the right direction. And the funnel, it got flung all the way over here. But yes, I just got to put this in. This randomizer is really important, as this is what is going to make sure our lights are flickering at just the right speed. Okay, so now that's set to randomize. Now this is going in the correct direction. Now let's toss a diamond in. And there we go. So that should send a signal, and that's going to hold that signal for just the right amount of time. And these are going to be all random. That's what we want. Now this redstone up here is essentially controlling the timer and is controlling the door sensors that allow the actual time stuff to happen, but it's easily breakable, unfortunately, because I'm kind of a noob at redstone. So we will have to kind of tinker with that, make sure it is set correctly. Once it's set, nobody should be breaking the redstone, so long as they don't go back into the door and step on this pressure plate like more than once, or step on this pressure plate more than once. They should be fine. Now, if the gates are open, this should mean that it is set up correctly. It's going to cost a diamond to start. This opens this door. When I step on that pressure plate, it should initiate the actual starting of the game. And this is the first trial. It is a parkour course that you've got to wait for these pistons to go. You go up here, you wait for this to extend, and then you jump, and you got to open the door at just the right amount of time. And that's why these pressure plates are here. These are to open the door. Now, this is also going to have some green fluid in here. I haven't set that up yet, but that's the idea. We got to get some green dye fluid, so I need to put that on my list of to-dos. But technically, the fluid makes it really hard. That fluid is going to go on all four corners of this room, and then there's going to be one that goes in this room. And you essentially have to find your path. It is going to be a little confusing at first, but you have to find your path through the glass room. And this is going to be very tricky if you don't know how to get through it. But I have definitely made this, so I know how to get through. But there we go. Like, this is a little glass house. I thought that was kind of fun to set up. This room is another parkour course, so you kind of can see it. That's not good that there is a creeper in here. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's kind of how it is sometimes. You know, the creepers just go boom, and you're left trying to figure out, how did I have this set up again? Oh no. But yes, essentially you go up here, you walk across, the slime block can bounce you off, so you have to time this just right to go up here, and then you jump onto this block, over here, through this little area. It's super tight to get through there, but yes, this is how you have to get through this. Try this one more time. Oh, and I failed again. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Oh, beautiful. I was able to get through. Now, I am worried that there might be more creepers. Okay, there shouldn't be tons of mob spawning in here. I think this is just primarily from the original placing in of this, but this room, we're gonna have to modify a little bit as well. This is the door room. You have to figure out which door allows you to pass through. But what I want is when you open these doors, I want there to be a clown statue behind this. Any door that is not the primary door. By the way, the primary door is up here. So after getting through that door, we continue on, and there's just so much to do in here. So this is the Find the Button course, and there's a lot of options, but I did notice that it didn't actually set my notes. So I'm gonna have to go back in here and reset all of the note sounds, because there is a note that does play, and it's a very specific chord that plays whenever you do find the button. I'm actually gonna not show where the button's at. Then we take a trip to the balloon room. And yes, it is designed after all of the balloons. And this side we actually don't have hooked up just yet, so we got to get the fans moving over here. So you know what, let's go ahead and fix that. And down here I needed this to be set to exactly 112 there, kind of for the fans primarily, just to make sure they were pushing at just the right speed. And I just need to connect that into here. Just don't know exactly what the direction is. I guess we'll find out one way or another, right? So we'll extend out to here with a shaft and switch directions. Actually, we can just use this. And let's see, is this going to be the correct direction? I have no idea. I've got to pop down into here. Let's see, is our fans blowing in the correct direction? It's gonna be hard to see. Yes, it is blowing in the correct direction. By the way, we do have to link the chain drives, it looks like. These were also not connected. And there actually is a special chain that we have to get hold of back here. And I actually don't even see it placed in the wall. Oh, there it is. So yes, this gets removed. The chain conveyor, it needs to go right here. And this is actually one of the special parts about this area, is you have to get your chain latched onto at just the right position, by the way. So yeah, whenever you're down in this area, you have to click on here, just the right position. Otherwise, you're not going to make it up here. Because if you click back here, for example, you're going to get hung up. So you have to find the sweet spot, which is right about here, give or take. And it allows you to get in. Oh, this is great. I'm loving this so far. And this is the lungs, which is also kind of a challenge. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in cobwebs. Kind of an interesting thing there too. Now, there are a couple of other rooms that I do need to get figured out and make sure we got this going. This is one of those rooms, and I hear there's zombies in here. Okay. Zombie. There's also a skeleton. There shouldn't be anything in here. I may have to light more of these rooms up, but this right here, we just need to turn on. This is one of a couple of different windmills that spin as a part of this whole thing. And another thing I've got to keep in mind is I'm going to have to kind of fill the outside here now that I've got this up and running here on the server. Now I'll come back to the brain room here in a minute, because I am noticing that it is not actively running for some reason. Like this has power. This is going through, but like this section doesn't have power for whatever reason. And I don't think one of these arms have power. But yes, this is probably one of the funnest rooms in the entire area. I just got to make sure this gets linked up. Oh, and just as I suspected, all of the belts for this section are absolutely borked. This is the brain section, yes. And I've got to go through here and fix all of these belts. Oh man, I tell you what, the belt situation with schematics are awful. Like this is atrocious with the way that this all works now. After a little bit of trial and error, it's done. Yes, you now walk through and you get punched as you go through the brain. Yes. You get punched as you walk through here. I love this so much. And if you don't get through the whole thing, you fall back down and you repeat the cycle again. And it is the belts going back and forth, back and forth. Like I said, it is a fun house. That is the whole idea behind this thing. But yes, you hold shift, you can get through, and then it moves you on into this area, which is, it just needs to be turned on. Now, the bottom of this is going to have lava, but this is, yes, a representation of the intestines. So yeah, you're essentially falling through the poop chute and you make your way back out, which should shut off the timer. Yeah, just like that. I didn't show you all the sections because there's still a lot more I want to get fixed here, but this is almost fully up and running. Like, you didn't even see the fail section, where if you fail, it punishes you by sending you back down. Or the eyeball section, which does have an interesting solution. Okay, I've got to get a bunch of statues in so that way I can get all those clowns set up. And I'm also going to make some fluid. We got to make some dye fluid real quick. I mean, not too much to do. And then we've got to enclose the outsides of these areas. So now I think I've got everything sort of cleared up, and I think this is ready to go. I do have to put my doors back in. So let's go ahead and do that. Iron door goes here. Iron door goes here. We fill those to prevent, you know, pesky thieves from coming in and stealing all of the stuff inside there. So we should be good. I'm going to put my back tank on. There are some rules here. Don't break blocks, close doors, no flying, things like that. So very, very simple rules. But all we need is a diamond to get started. So that should trigger the door to open. Notice the timer also immediately starts. So this is something that we've got to kind of keep our eye on. But here we go. This time I'm going to go through the entire funhouse. I think I got everything done, and I don't think that anything is broken. So welcome to the heart. Yes, the heart. And this is the first room that will make or break you, honestly, because you can easily fail this. It's a simple parkour with moving parts, but this door, oh, that door can get you. Now, I've done it several times, but I did get the water in. Notice how this room is going to confuse a lot of people, I think, because there's actually 2 layers to this room. But the goal is to go down here and then to make it through this hole as well, which it kind of pushes you in. You get through the glass fun house, which was really fun to make, by the way, using copycat ghost blocks and regular blocks gives you that effect. Then we get into this room, which blew up earlier, and I really hate that it blew up, but this should be a lot simpler for me to get through. So we got to get to I say that and then I fail. We got to just get to that section right here. Oh my goodness, I can't for the life of me get to it. Oh, I'm just gonna keep rushing, ain't I? But this is okay. Whew, this is it. All right, there we go. And then we jump over to here, line this up just right, because this is a very tight corridor. And then you just press into the wall, and then we should be able to get through there. Perfect. Then we have the door room. And yes, these doors now have things behind them. So yeah, you could potentially go down here and you're like, oh, hey, look, it's a dabbing, it's a baby dabbing it's awful. A Pennywise in here. There's all kinds of different poses. I did. This one's hilarious. But yes, I mean, after you kind of look for your doors, eventually you're going to have to figure out which door it is. There's a couple ways to get to the actual door, but that's going to be up here. I can't wait to have others come through here and test it with me. But there's the door, auto closes, so the next person should be here. Now we got to find the button. Now I'm going to actually show you where the button is, and that is right here. Perfect, and it opens the door. We can move on to the next station, which is running through here. And the fans are going to kick you up, and you've got to let the fan get you up to this position, which it can push you all the way up on top of this. There we go. And then you can fall down, or you can use this to precisely get you up here, which is nice. So yes, you will need to have yourself a wrench or a rotation regulator. But then we have the lungs. And the lungs breathe in and breathe out. Right now it's in the sucking mode. Now it's in the blowing mode. So you have to hold shift just right. Otherwise you get stuck inside the cobwebs. All right, let's continue on. Now we're back in the stomach again. Notice there's the stomach acid and there was that bottom floor. If you do fail here, well, you end up going right back down here and you have to repeat the whole section again. Timing this is rough because there's this up here that can bump you off if you don't time it correctly. And the best way to do this is to wait for it to be extended. Right about now, hit the button, jump, let it bounce you up until you land up here. And that's how you do it. It is pretty challenging, and you have to go through the door, otherwise the door will close back. So let's try this one more time. Now, go through, whew, and make it through the door. All right, and then we get a spinny room where we have to get through And there's only certain spots that you can actually get through, this being one of them. Then leads us into the next trial room, which is our trapdoor room. But this room is a little bit more confusing. You're gonna have to use your brain just a little bit to be able to get through here. The only way to actually get up here is to click on the seat to teleport you up to the seat, and then right click, and then click on this seat to then allow you to crawl back down. And the whole time, by the way, the lights are going in and out. This is the eyeball room, in case you didn't recognize what that was. And then we continue on to the maze room, which is very trippy, by the way, because you have to keep looking until you find the way out. And I mean, you can keep trying to figure it out, but there is only one solution, and that is through this wall right here, where you do land on a bed. Oh, I still got to get the Pennywise right here because I want there to be another one. But let's continue on. And then we make it into the brain, which we did see a little bit earlier, but now we can actually see it in full action. So yeah, with the lights flickering on and off, it's pretty neat. Sometimes you'll get punched, sometimes you won't. So we continue our way through here, and we are in the final room, which now has the lava in it, by the way, which is a lot more dangerous, because if you do fail on this, you will fall into lava and possibly die. So yeah, this is like a fair warning, I guess, on that. But you have to work your way until we land on the bottom one, and then you've got to land on this. And now we make our way out. When we do that, this opens up and our time is listed up here, and I'd say that's a pretty decent time. Pretty decent, if I should say so myself. Now, for scoring the time for the funhouse, I do actually want to have, like, I don't know, maybe a lectern that has a book and quill on it, so that way people can manually record their time and update it. I think that is primitive, but it is going to work fine for something like this. And I think I could place that maybe like right here. We can put a lectern. Inside of this will be our book, and I'll go ahead and put this on here, be like high scores. And then I will put mine on here, chosen. And then I'll put my high score, whatever that time may be. Let's see. It was 427. So we'll just say that's what my current high score is, 427. And there we go. We hit done. Place it on here so people can see that, and they can also record their own high scores. And I'll make sure to put a sign up here for it. Now, I just noticed something got missed that was supposed to be built here. Oh, the uvula. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I forgot the thing. So yes, this needs to be extended down. And my idea was to have a uvula in here. So let's see. I think right about here is a good spot. Bring this up. And it was just going to be sort of surrounded like this with a little bit of variance in its height. And I've just got to glue that together and have that spinning. All right, so let's see this in action. That was all the way up top here, which is the lamp. Let's see. If I break this, I think it's under the lamp. The lamp definitely keeps it lit up. Yes. Okay, it says update bearing. Right click the bearing with an empty hand. Pretty sure I just did that. Okay, contraption unable to assemble. Oh, that's right, because I do need wool in this. Totally forgot that I was using a windmill bearing. I always forget with that. So, like, red wool is going to be the thing we use for this. Perfect. 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will be 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. That should be enough to trigger. And voila! We now have the spinning uvula. Disgusting. But I don't know. What do you guys think of the funhouse? Like, is this interesting? It took quite a while to sort of develop and come up with the ideas for it. But I would definitely love to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And is there any way that you would have done it differently? I love hearing like solutions that you guys may have had to problems, and potentially what kind of rooms you might build yourself. And like, yeah, I can't wait to actually share this with all of the server mates, but I only want to get this up and running and share all of this once we get the other side done. So I still have one more mini game to make to be able to fill out the rest of the space here. And then it's just a matter of decorating. But my goodness, is this turning out so good. And I look forward to the next video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. And guys, well, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So without further ado, it's now time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to, if I can get this all in right, there we go, Lamo Crazy. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and just supporting my content in one of the best ways possible, you absolute boss. And guys, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.